grant you peace and prosperity and luck, because that's the time of season we are in. So, by the powers vested in me, I proclaim this a safe and beautiful and harmonious holiday to you, you, and to everyone. Shall we get on with the story? And Joe is going to sing a couple of verses that go along with the story. We have 4 chapters, so I better get going. It doesn't work very well to lick my finger. Okay, if you don't listen. Winter solstice tree. Now it happened one year, not so long ago, winter came here after fall went home, and the weather began to turn cold. Megan was happy the season had changed. She kept thinking about all the fun she would have when the ice and snow began. She went down to the nearby ravine to look for Winter, and after a while, Megan found Winter. "Am I ever glad to see you again," she told her old friend. She gave her a great big hug, even though it was shivery cold to hold her that way. Winter was glad to see Megan too, but she looked a little bit worried. "What's the matter?" Megan asked her. "I haven't seen the white wolf, woo, for days. I've called and called, but he stays away and I don't know where he's gone." Megan knew the white wolf well. He was Winter's best friend. He stayed with her wherever they were, and he liked to chase after the icicle sticks that Winter made with her magic tree staff. "Is he lost?" Megan asked. "He is till he's found," Winter replied. "Maybe he'd hear if you help me call. 2 voices sound much louder than one. Do you still know his song?" Megan remembered it very well, so they sang and clapped and whistled and yelled just as loud as they could for the white wolf to come, and they hoped that he would hear them.
White wolf, white wolf, white wolf, white wolf. White wolf, white wolf.
Thank you. Next page, please. They called the song again and again, and while they were singing, Megan's friend Michael came walking by, and he sang too. They sang the song for a very long time, but the white wolf never came. Finally they stopped. Winter sighed and shook her head. "He doesn't hear us," Winter said. "He's gone off somewhere to look for some food. He gets very hungry, and there isn't too much to eat at this time of year." "We'll make him something," Michael suggested. "What does he like?" Megan asked. "Cookies," said Winter. "Cookies are the white wolf's favorite. If we made some cookies and put them out, he'd be back in a flash. He can smell a cookie a mile away." Megan thought that was a pretty good plan, and Michael did too, so they went back to Megan's and made a big batch of delicious cookies. They cut each one out in the shape of a wolf, and they used lots of coconut sprinkles on top, so they'd be white and furry, and very much like the white wolf himself. "Perfect," said Winter when they brought them back. "He's sure to know who they're for." It was time to go back home for dinner again, so they set out the cookies and they put on a plate, and they sang the song for White Wolf again. When Megan and Michael got up the next day, they both ran down to the ravine right away. They had an idea their plan might have worked. A fresh fall of snow had covered the ground, and they saw there were big, fresh paw prints around the plate. The cookies were gone, but Winter was there with a great big smile on her face. "The cookies worked great," she said happily. "I was so glad to see White Wolf again. I made it snow last night." Megan and Michael could see that was so, because just as she said it, the White Wolf appeared. Woo! Megan and Michael could see that the white wolf was there, dashing across the new fallen snow with an icicle clutched in his teeth. They gave him a hug and they played a few games of icicle fetching and snowball catching. They called him sweet names and they sang him his song, and they said they'd bake cookies all winter long so he wouldn't be hungry again. The white wolf was definitely very pleased. He howled and growled and ran all around them in leaps and bounds and stole Megan's hat and her mittens. Now he'll stay close to home for sure, Winter laughed, but he says that his friends are hungry too. There's not much left to eat for all the animals. The birds are especially hungry this time of year. They don't store away any food like the squirrel, and even the squirrels are a little bit worried that they won't have enough put away. We can bake cookies for them, Michael said. I don't think they liked cookies so much. They like a treat from time to time, but they like seeds much better, seeds and nuts. So do the squirrels. Rabbits prefer having vegetables mostly, and almost everybody likes to eat apples. Why don't we give them all something to eat? It's almost the solstice, and that's a good time to give things away. The solstice, Megan asked. What is the solstice? Today is the solstice. It's the longest night of the year, Winter told her, and that's probably why everyone is so hungry. Let's make up a feast. It's the least we can do. So Megan and Michael ran back home and got right to work. They made popcorn strings and cranberry strands, and they strung some peanuts too. They even made a few suet balls, and asked your mom about that, and stuck lots of seeds all around the outside. They got apples and carrots and celery and lettuce, and they broke up some loaves of stale bread and scattered heaps of crumbly crumbs. And when the day of the solstice arrived, they met with the winter down in the ravine and picked out a nice little evergreen. They wove the popcorn and cranberry strings all through the branches and hung up the apples and vegetables too. They put piles of seeds at the foot of the tree, and when they were done, it looked absolutely wonderful. Then they all joined hands and sang a song so the animals would be sure to know it was all for them.
Solstice, food for the animals. Solstice, food for the animals. Solstice, food for the animals. Winter solstice tree.
They sang the song a few times through, and each took a handful of breadcrumbs and threw them up in the air. They also made some lines with the crumbs on the ground, pointing away from the tree in all directions. That meant that no matter which direction the animals came from, they could follow the crumbs and find the food on the tree. Megan and Michael still had some crumbs. They made some more trails, and then they sang the song one more time and went home. Last verse. Sure enough, on the following day when the sun came out and the morning began, the squirrels and the rabbits and the birds and the raccoons from miles around soon found the tree. They chattered and chirped and squeaked and squawked as they ate up all the decorations. The white wolf howled, "Ooh!" And Winter laughed, and Megan and Michael laughed too. And ever after that, whenever they could, Megan and Michael came back to the woods and hung some more food on the tree. So no matter how much it snowed that year and how shivery cold the wind would blow, the animals always had something to eat. And they didn't much mind it at all. The end.
The end.
I had a parka with a hood I was going to put on. I'm glad I didn't go with that. Thank you for your attention. Now is a sacred point in our service.
Thank you. I hope you don't mind if I mention Alaska again. Seems like every time I speak I talk about Alaska. It's because it's very meaningful to me, but because I lived there in some of those villages. It is dark all night at this time. Not always totally dark, but a little bit of twilight sometimes for a couple of hours. But so today is it's extreme. The solstice is extreme, way up north in Alaska. At 4:03 this morning, however, here in Glendale, Alaska, Mountain Standard Time, 4:03, the sun changed from diminishing to increasing, bringing in a new year. Or so we are told by astronomers who study the heavens with their powerful technology and can keep computerized records of celestial movements. But long before computers, long before telescopes and planetariums, long before science as we know it, this task fell to the shaman of the tribe. The woman or man who served as spirit guide, counselor, healer, historian, scientist, and magician. The one who in all of these roles gave so much to ensure the tribe's well-being. Diminishing sunlight in autumn was a reminder that even as the old year died, so must all living things. The shaman helped the tribe to accept this universal dying. To understand it is necessary for new life. When the daylight hours were shortest and foliage had all but disappeared, evergreen trees offered hope to those ancient people. From earliest times, the tree was a symbol of connectedness, with its roots deep below the ground, its trunk solidly on the earth, and its branches reaching into the heavens. It was seen as the world tree, the cosmic axis that connects the human to the divine. It was up this world tree, this pole that rose through the smoke hole of the tent, that the shaman journeyed in an altered state of consciousness. The shaman was a bridge who could bring back a message to the members of the tribe that were important to their well-being, messages about how to be at one with the earth. Sometimes the messages were about practical things concerning the year to come, like what to plant, when to harvest, where to hunt. For shaman often served as environmental protection agents, harmonizing the behavior of their people with the natural world. As the new year unfolds, let us remember, it is we ourselves who must put on the shaman's mask. It is we who must direct our journey to find understanding. Not at the North Pole, where ice is melting at an alarming rate. Not in Ferguson, Missouri, where injustice seems prevalent, but right here in our hearts, beginning with the healing of our own wounds, the healing of our own attitudes, and the healing of our own spirits. When we find a balance within ourselves, we are empowered to dwell together in peace. We are empowered to serve humankind in friendship. We are empowered to live our mission statement and make a difference in our world. And now, in preparation for our meditation, we will pass out the evergreen sprigs. No, do you mind doing that, you and Diana? Please take one of the evergreen sprigs and hold it in your hand during the meditation. Okay, the choir, to prepare us for our guided meditation, the choir is going to sing Dark of Winter. And when the choir returns to their seats after the song, we'll begin the guided meditation. Close your eyes if you like, and take a few moments to contemplate the shortening of daylight at this time of year. Explore and celebrate the darkness. Honor the dark. This is the season when animals hibernate and nature sleeps, and we can turn inward also. This is a natural time for letting go, for saying farewell. Release any resentments and regrets into the pine sprig in your hand, knowing that they will be transformed. As the days grow longer again, and we embrace winter and the new calendar year, let us kindle within ourselves a deeper awareness of the circle of nature of which we are a part. Let us celebrate our relationships with our family or our friends, our community, our cultures, all nature and the divine. As you open your eyes and look at the lights of the candles or the lights on the tree, do so with the intention of allowing light into your heart, of bringing light into the world. Make a conscious effort to increase the amount of light you create as you go into the new year. And after the service, you may drop your evergreen sprig into the Yule log fire and get rid of any of the things that you put into the sprig.
Where is the Yule log fire?
We'll have it out there. You won't miss it.
No, we'll set it up very prettily out on the patio. And now we welcome back our choir for another Yule carol by Karina Sky to the music of The First Noel. Thank you. Now we have a reading, The Shortest Day by that prolific artist, Unknown. And so the shortest day came and the year died, and everywhere down the centuries of the snow-white world, people came singing, dancing to drive away the dark. They lighted candles in the winter trees, they hung their homes with evergreen. They burned beseeching fires all night long to keep the year alive. And when the New Year's sunlight blazed awake, they shouted, reveling. Through all the frosty ages you can hear them, echoing behind us. Listen. All the long echoes sing the same delight. This shortest day, as promised, awakens in the sleeping land. They carol, feast, and give thanks, and dearly love their friends, and hope for peace. And now, so do we, here and now. This year and every year, welcome Yule. A custom dating back to pagan roots is the burning of the Yule log. Originally, the Yule bonfire was meant to renew life and power to the sun. Thus, the sun was reborn, with the shortest day marking the year when the days started becoming longer. This Yule log was created by our West Valley Unitarian Universalist Church, a community that celebrates diversity and supports each other in our spiritual searches. Whether you are pagan or Christian, atheist or Buddhist, or if you don't hold any particular spiritual belief, you're welcome here. And this is your Yule log if you choose it to be. Holding to tradition, We'll burn the Yule log in a bonfire at the end of this service. As it's burning, you may throw in your evergreen sprigs and say farewell to the old calendar year and release what you would like to leave behind. Also, contemplate the year ahead and the power of hope and possibilities. Now we will sing our closing hymn, number 235, Deck the Halls.